Hello and welcome to Wireman's Whimsy. Today I'm going to do something just a little bit different. I'm kind of copying a video that Kylie Bertucci, in Australia did about, she has this love it, chop it, use your paper. So I thought I'd do something similar and just share how I manage my DSP. For years, I just kept it in the packet, never used it. It was just, I just loved looking at it. But what I've done based on Kylie's recommendation is I use the cases, the plastic cases that you can buy. That was very loud, sorry about the snapping. And I cut up my DSP and I put it in, and I take the label off, whether it's on cellophane or whether it's on the cardboard, and I put it on the spine. And then they store right on my shelf next to my stamp sets that they go with, and things like that. So this is the Celebration paper, Flower and Field Designer Series paper. It's a celebration item for January and February, and it's gorgeous. You can see lots of variation. Now, one of the things you need to think about when you are cutting up your paper for future use is it directional? And how do you normally make cards? Do you normally make portrait style cards this way up, or do you usually make landscape cards like this? Because it will make a difference how you cut your paper. Because if you cut this directionally so it's long ways and it's up and down, but then you decide to make a landscape card, then your graphics are going to be running up and down, not side to side, or vice versa. So if you think this, in this case, they would be running across as opposed to up and down. So you need to think about how you make your cards. The beauty is there are 2 sheets of each. So you could, using exactly the same cutting process, you can cut them at the same time. You can just turn the one so you will get half of your sheets will be landscape and half will be portrait. So we'll get started. And what I do is I cut my paper into 3 4-inch strips. Because it's 12 by 12, I just run it in my cutter. And as I said, I'm cutting both sheets at once. They're 2 different directions. So I will get the difference in the shape. So I'm just gonna slide that in the cutter at 4 inches. And cut. So there's 1 4-inch strip. And I always like to use 1 straight edge that is existing. So then I will cut that. So now I have a total of 6 strips. I'm going to take a set of 2 and I'm going to cut them at 5 1/4 by 4, because I usually do my mats at 5 1/4 by 4. You can cut them down other sizes. If you like smaller mats or square mats, you can cut them down. So I'll cut this one again at 5 1/4 by 4, and I'm going to end up with a little piece of extra at the bottom. And this piece that's extra is 4 by 1.5 inches. Now, you may think, well, what am I going to do with that piece of paper? So let's say you're making a card and this is your front. You can take your offcut from the end, and now you can lay it over and you have an embellishment that fits exactly. You can now print a label, do a greeting on it, cut it out, whatever you'd like to do. You can add other embellishments over top. And that's how I quite often do my cards really quickly. I can show you an example of one that I have done this way. I've already got a video online with this. This is a 5 1/4 by 4 in the Peony Garden DSP. And this piece is actually an offcut, just like this, of what came off of the bottom of one of my cuts. So they're really easy to use. It makes a quick and simple card. And I'll show you, let's get these going here. I cut these out. You can see they're cut, but because I reversed the paper on one of them, you can see this one. If I was to do this as a portrait style card, the graphics would run up and down. If I do it as a landscape, they run across. And the same with this one. If I was doing a landscape card, they'd run up and down, portrait across. Now this, it probably really doesn't matter how you use that one. But if you've got paper like this one, this is really obviously a directional, and you wouldn't make a card as a landscape like this. So this is, again, one you really need to decide how you're going to use your paper. And for me, I generally do portrait cards. So I would probably cut both of these at 5 1/4 by 4 long ways. So my first cut is 4. And the reason I do my first cut at 4 and not at 5 1/4 is because I get that exact 4-inch piece by 1 1/2 at the end, so that I can use it and I don't have to recut it. It's about efficiency, it's about moving quickly for me and getting things done. So when I do this at 5 1/4 now and cut it, and we'll just do the cut. I love this paper cutter, the new one. It's fabulous. Okay, so the likelihood is I've already decided most of my cards using this paper are going to go this way up. Now, the back is polka dot, so it doesn't matter. That can go either way. But see how instantly that makes a really, really nice, quiet space for you. Put a greeting or put an embellishment, wrap some ribbon around it. You can even cut out a larger flower image and overlay it. So lots and lots of different opportunities. Again, this paper is from Celebration, and I'll just show you the rest of the paper here. Isn't that glorious? It's interesting to have paper that is black on the background. We quite often don't have the black, and I really like the depth that it gives. And here is the blue roses. So, and this one, it's a diagonal, so it wouldn't matter really which way you cut it. You wouldn't have it going vertical or horizontal anyway. This one's really pretty, this little one. Now this, wow, that's an eye chart, but I love it. This one would be really good for using as those little 4 by 1 1/2 inch strips. Just see how that just quiets down the busyness. So they've done a really, really good job with these. Now it comes down to the logo on the back, and I cut these out. I just use my paper trimmer and I cut it out. And then I put it in the spine of the case that I put everything in. So I just cut it down, and you can measure it if you want to make it precise. Otherwise, I just generally cut it so the information's there. And because I'm a bit of a pack rat, I keep these, and honestly, I use them for wrapping fabric around when I have small fabric remnants. So now to do this, I know that I want the information on the spine that has it has the name of the paper series, and it has the colors it coordinates with. In this case, it's Bumblebee, Cherry Cobbler, Flirty Flamingo, Granny Apple Green, Just Jade, Misty Moonlight, Petal Pink, Pool Party, Poppy Parade, Pumpkin Pie, Shaded Spruce, So Saffron, and the White. So really amazing number of combinations that you can do with this. And I just put this in like this inside the plastic layer, and then just fold it round, and that tells me exactly what the designer series paper that's in here is. And I'll pull out some that I've already cut and show you how I just layer them in. See, that goes in perfectly like that, and then you can pop your other pieces in, or you can store these at the top if you like. And as I showed you with the In Good Taste paper, it all fits in. And there's all your paper, all your offcuts, and you just store them together. So thank you very much for watching. If you would like to earn this paper through Celebration in Canada, if you buy $60 worth of products from either the annual catalog or the new mini catalog, which is amazing, then you can get one of these paper sets free. The other paper set that's free, I've got a couple of them actually, is the Paper Bloom. This is a free set as well, and you can see it's gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. And the other one that I have that I want to play with really badly is the Berry Delightful Designer Series paper. And it also is really, really pretty. And I can see so many things already that I'm going to do with those, but today is all about cutting paper. So again, thank you for watching, and thank you to Kylie Bertucci in Australia for the tip on cutting and storing the paper. I hope you'll check us both out, and we will see you later.